What's up everyone, Todd from Plaid AF, and I'm here with Matt, he's behind the camera. It's 25 degrees or so out here in Idaho, and we're gonna go through and burn up some old tires because I got some new tires to throw on. Let's just recap what's going on with this car. We'll show you the setup and then we're gonna get in and we're gonna find a spot to go do some burnouts in drift mode to get all the rubber off the rear tires so I can actually justify throwing them in the trash and putting some new, bigger wheels on the rear and the front. So first off, on the front, these are signature wheels front and rear, and they're 21s. I think they're 9.5 in the front, 11 in the rear. I'm running 265 30 21, and we're gonna go 285 30 21, so a little thicker in the front. Yeah, it's gonna balloon off this rim, probably just a little, but I don't really care. I'm running about -1 degrees of camber in the front. When I get on the track, I have the Unplugged Performance adjustable upper control arms, so I can flip it and then add an additional -2 degrees of camber. So I run -3 degrees of camber on the front on the track. Now I put wider wheels on for that. I run 305s on the front on the track, but for the street setup, I'm gonna switch to 285s from 265s. Hopefully that clearance is gonna be okay. If it's not, then I'll go to the alignment shop and run just a little bit more negative camber on the front to make it clear. And then on the rear, we should be good on the rear because we actually did body work before we did this wrap. And so this right here, this lip has come out probably over 1/2 inch from what it is from the factory. This line right here used to come down, came out a little bit, and then just dropped off flat straight. And you can see that they essentially bent this out all the way, rolled it out all the way, nice and smooth, did some body work on there, primered it, and then we wrapped over it. So there should be plenty of clearance because right now there's 305s in the rear and we're going to 325, 30, 21 in the rear. And that's on an 11-inch rim. So it might balloon out just a hair. Again, I don't really care. I just want more contact, as wide of a tire as I possibly can this time around. These Pirellis are what I had since I bought the car. And now we have Michelin Pilot Sport 4s that we're putting on. So with that said, let's get in and let's go burn out some tires. Oh yeah, last thing, let's just look how much rubber is on these tires right now. They're in need of replacement. So it's pretty low, but you know, there's a little bit of grip on here, but they're ready for some new ones. And the goal is to get that completely smoothed over so I can get my money's worth on the rubber here before we throw them in the trash. All right, so here's how we get into drift mode. You gotta put it in park, and then you go into pedals and steering. You can see it's track mode, gives you this little warning, and then you go to customize, and you have all these different settings. So this is one that I programmed, having a rear bias, 60% in the rear. So essentially you can control handling, front and rear. You can name it. You can have how much stability assist, how much regenerative braking. And the drift preset is 100% rear, stability 100% off, and the regen really doesn't matter. So now it's in drift, and then when I get out of this, you'll see it changes the screen. It'll tell you front and rear motor temperature, battery temperature, and then on the dash, it changes the whole display on the dash. You can hear the fans kick on. It's 32 degrees outside right now, 78% state of charge. We're gonna do some donuts here. Looks like someone already did. And hopefully there's not too much gravel and we'll decide to continue because there are some rocks out here. But we're gonna see if we can wear the tires down because we drove quite a bit of ways just to find an open area. So we were far enough away and there's still some houses down the road. So let's do it. Just putting on these crisp frozen gloves. They're actually frozen. All right, so what I'm doing, I'm just pulling off these wheels because we're gonna go over and drop these off, but we'll take a look at the wear on them, and then we'll put these side by side. These are the 305s next to the 325s and get an idea of the size difference. Yeah, there's still some life left on them. This one looks pretty similar. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. There's even more contact patch on the ground than a traditional 325. So these are like ultra wide version 325s. Someone in the comments can probably tell me more about tires. I'm not the expert on that by any means. But I'm looking forward to feeling what these are gonna do hooking up, since these have literally been slipping and sliding every time I accelerate. And I remember when I first had these, they actually hooked. And as much as when you have a fast car, it's like, oh, it's so fast, it peels out the tires. It's a lot more fun when you accelerate and it throws you back and you feel how much force and just instant power is actually transferred down to the ground, and you feel it in the seat. All right, that's it. We got all the wheels loaded up. So we're gonna take it over to Discount Tire, have them flip it over, and then we're gonna reinstall these. So I'll get some footage of that as well. Just picked these up from Discount Tire. We're gonna get these over to the car and mount it up. Not too much ballooning. These are the 285s in the front, so these barely stick out, so I'm okay with that. These other guys here, they don't stick out too far past the wheel. Okay, let's see how these line up. So we just got these on. Looks like there's plenty of room. So could technically go even a little bit wider on these, but so when this fully loads, it's not going to hit. It doesn't look like it will. And then front, this is what it looks like. Cards this way, which looks fine. It's not sitting at its absolute lowest right now. It's pretty tight. If you went through a turn loaded, I don't know how much this is going to compress down, potentially hit here. That's what 285 looks like in the front, 325 in the rear.